Good morning. Here we are. Day 24 of the Saga Live morning routine show. We're going to be off to a nice clean start today. For those of you that are celebrating it and are still with us, happy Easter Sunday. And for those of you that are just coming in on a Sunday and doing this with us, go you. You are really dedicated. Because I can tell you right now, I want to go back to bed. But the work must be done. This is definitely one of those mornings where it's going to take me a bit to wake up. Let me get out my journal. I'm going to go right into a little bit chat and chill super journaling. Today is Sunday, April 12th, I believe.
Yes.
Wow. Sunday, April 12th. 2020. And I'm here with Abra, producing and directing today. Our daily habit is our morning routine. And we gotta do that gratitude thing.
Josh says it sounds good.
Sounds good. All right. Gratitude. A bright sunny morning. There's lovely jazz music. And I'm also grateful for waking up to my friends who have decided to spend their Sunday morning with me. So spending Sunday morning with friends. You know, I think it always used to be a thing for me because I think at one point we had our Kung Fu classes on Sunday mornings. And of course, when I was running the Stunt Coalition, that would be in Sunday afternoons. But, you know, for a few years I was spending those mornings with some friends. And then, you know, it was always getting ready to go see people on a Sunday. It's nice. It's nice. If the Stunt Coalition was still going on right now, for those of you that don't know, I ran and operated the DC Stunt Coalition LLC out of Rockville, Maryland for the better part of a decade. It still exists, but obviously the facilities have been closed for the moment. But the community still lives on. I'm definitely grateful for the history of the Stunt Coalition. And I'm still grateful that I believe there's going to be a future for it. Just got to get through all this together. Affirmation. I can be my best heroic self. And to be honest, I need to find a way to make that a little bit more specific because it is not necessarily inspiring a direct image in my head because, of course, like I like to say in some ways, my self-confidence is wavering in and out. And yet here I am on the chopping block of this show for all the world to see. My flaws and scars and not so great parts. I think I gotta work on that. All that being said though, the joy of spending the morning with you all is awesome. And I know I couldn't be luckier. Unless I had like $1 billion. Alright. Hey everyone, have to finish up an assignment today for the class. I'm finishing up. They cannot do a makeup, so Caitlin is here, but she's going to be working on her stuff. Go you. Hey Abby, Abby checked in. Hey everybody. Alright. So let's just go ahead. Let's get right to our top-down check-in and flow. I'm going to be focusing on some things that I want to focus on too. But let's get started with the warm-up portion. Move that head and neck. Get that weekend rust shaken off, shake it off. Remember, if you're going to be pulling on your head and neck, try and work on keeping your shoulders down to open up all that space. I still have a little bit of a tweak to my neck, but it's been feeling a lot better. Step a little bit forward. Give yourself a little bit of energy against the pressure so that you're warming up the muscles. Whew, it's definitely all still in my upper back. Make sure you focus. Channeling that breath work we've been working on into your stretches. Into the arms. Oh boy. Big repulsor blast. Small circles. Medium circles. Large circles. Up through the sky. Really got to start focusing on this plane of movement a little bit more for myself. Right, chest, back. Little shrugs into the chest and the torso. Swivel in that rib cage. Okay. The other way. Into the hips. Hip circles. Again, I like to root into the ground. I like to dig my feet in. Back the other way. I'm definitely feeling better already just doing this. Diver bends, skier bends. Whatever you want to call them. Just like to go through that hip hinge. Open everything up. Some knee raises real quick. You can twist across the body, throwing these opposite elbows. It's a very Muay Thai look. I know Abra's, or it could be like a dance move. However you want. Abra's judging me so hard right now.
No, I do those too.
Go into your knee bends if you want. And what you'll notice is I'm trying to keep my heels flat on the ground. First, at least, because I want to stretch through back here. And I want to stretch through up here. If I just come right off in, I'm not getting that stretch through the backs of the legs. So I need to try and keep my heels on the ground and push forward and through. And that's why I touch the ground with my hands sometimes. Give me that nice little counterbalance. And you'll feel that in a lot of our Tai Chi exercises if you go back and do those in the earlier videos. But then, of course, yes. Bring the heels up off the ground. Move forward so that you're working out your calves a little bit, stretching through the toes. Whatever you need to do to open all that up. Alright. And then I'm going to flow. For my flow, I'm going to be doing some of those circular sort of style push-ups because I want to get more push-ups into my body. Hopefully my upper body will recover before I get into my planks. So, I rock forward, lower my hips. Oh yeah, I need to open up in that direction today. Curl back, forward, up, curl back, forward, up, curl back. And then I'm gonna do these circular push-ups where I skim the ground, push myself up. I'm gonna go back the other way, where I go up to down. Do some crawls. More lizardy today. Stretch across the body. Walk it through. S-sit. Just going to name the things that I'm doing as best as I can. S-sit. Front transition. Open it up. Push off to bridge. To dancer's bridge, kind of with a wide base. Front transition around again. Other side. Opening up the hip, the back, the chest. And bringing it down. All right. I'm kind of warmed up. How are you all feeling? So we meet again. What an unexpected surprise. Yes, Adriano. This is clearly a surprise. Hey, Khalil. Nice to have you. Y'all get to see me do weird bendy things. All right. Let's go into our technique tutorials for today. Kind of right on time. We're still working through the Kung Fu stance set. I'm not exactly sure how far through this we'll get by the end of the first 9 days of this cycle, or the 9 days of this cycle. But we're going to try our best. Our stance set starts with an opening, feet together. This is just really to check the breath. Breathe in, raise your hands up your body. Breathe out, push the energy back down. Trace the waist, breathe in, and breathe out. Lie down. Toes go out. Heels go out, toes go forward. And if you need to go out further, that's okay too. You want to aim for this basic kind of shoulder width to shoulder width and a half range. This is a much more boxy stance than it is a big wide rectangle for this horse stance. I'm going to sink down as low as I feel comfortable while my heels are still on the ground, keeping my butt tilted in a little bit. Try not to over-rotate your pelvis in. You don't want to have that going on. You kind of want to keep it flat. And this arm position can either be like this or like this, but I think it was like this one for what we were doing for our stance set, where the fists are kind of pointing at each other. They don't necessarily have to touch unless you want to, and then you fire the chest. Shift to one side, open up that foot, pull yourself across, the rear foot turns slightly, punch through, turning your waist. Shift back, turn forward again, fist comes to hip, lower back into your horse stance. You can hold horse stance again in this position if you need to. Shift, open, pull, punch, twist, all at once. And again, you should be firing your muscles while doing this whole thing. Don't do this like a loose, limp noodle. You want to be energized. Open up that hand, bring it across the plane of your vision. When it comes to your center line, shift back, forearm strike. Again, the angle of this matches the angle of my foot. Shift up and over, opposite. This is swallow stance, opposite swallow stance. All right, now we're just going to transition right into our crane. Shift your weight back, Drag your foot on the ground, hands follow the foot, raise up everything together through the center, open up and out. Willow leaf palm and a guard right above your eye. Don't have it all the way up here for right now, just have it right about in this line. Toes pointed down. If you want, optional transition. Punch out to the side. Watch your hand. Lift. Open up again. Foot goes down. Shift. I like to bring it in and extend it back out. Trying to keep those toes down. And now the opposite transition. Boom. To that lift. Oh dear. And extend back out. From here, foot's going to go down to the ground. We're going to go into trap stance on one side. Front hand pulls back behind your body. Rear hand twists your body and becomes your front hand. This is our twist stance. Or no, this is our trap stance. My apologies. This foot is empty. That foot's full. Shift back to the center. Hands switch across the body. Check step if you want. Go into the opposite trap. This foot's empty. This arm is energized. It's not like this. It's not like this. Push that out. Take this one, push it out. Create that line. Come back. You can call this an hourglass stance. And go back to the other side. So we're going to work on that trap stance for just a minute to add it to the form. This stance is awesome. It's going to teach you how to empty out that leg to avoid sweeps. It's also going to teach you how to shift your weight back so you can go into that position. Also, this is kind of disguised. In the form, we raise the heel so that we're aware of how much energy is in there, how much weight is in there. Very similar to our Tai Chi set. But in practical application, I could be standing here and I'm just shifting my weight slightly. Boom, I can throw that kick. Because that's how the human body works. You have to shift the weight into one plane so you can empty it in another so that you can do something with it. If this is full, the only way that I can fire a kick with it is to push off of it and jump. And the timing is too slow. At least in most cases. So when it's empty, I'm now controlling it. In karate, a lot of times this is a cat stance. A Neko stance, I suppose, would be the word for that. I don't know. I haven't done karate in a really long time. I want to find a teacher and get back into it. So, from the end of crane 2, toe touches down, stays empty, sink into your root leg, push with this hand across the body, and extend with this hand with the crane's beak behind you. If you can, go as low as you want. You can stick the butt out a little bit if that works for you, or stay up high and keep this empty and keep this full. It's really, if you can, a 90-10 distribution, 90 here, 10 here, but if you want to just train having this empty, that's fine by me. Hourglass shape, swings it around, check step to lower again. Big energy. And that's your trap stance. Let's go through the whole form one more time, from beginning to end, including the trap stance. Feet together. Open. Oh, wait. Let's breathe. Out, forward. Lower to horse. Let's hold that for a couple seconds. Shift to the right. Open up. Punch and extend. Shift back. See how I lowered less that time? Shift to the left. Punch and extend. I can see in the video I'm not doing my deepest horse stance possible. Something for me to work on. Back to swallow. Did you just pop a knuckle?
Yes.
I thought you like snapped at me. All right, back up and over, opposite swallow. Hands trace down as you rise into your first crane. Lower, bring it around the other side, raise. See, I forgot the optional transition that time. That's okay. I'll do it on this side just for funsies.
Optional.
Punching, opening, lifting, extending. Lower the foot, push out for your trap, get as low as you want. Come together for this hourglass shape, swinging around, touchdown. And that's where we're going to end that one today. If I'm thinking correctly, there's only 2 more stances in this stance set. So we will finish it up by the end of this cycle. But definitely get those ones down. They're very important to any Kung Fu form in this system that I learned from. The long fist form. Body is very extended, it's very open. But it's still very powerful. And again, I saw myself in the video. If my horse stance is just here for now, I'm being very lazy, and I'm also trying not to be intimidating to those that are watching. If I want to, this is where it needs to be. Thighs need to be parallel. Back needs to be as straight as possible. You need to be sitting low, but you don't want your butt to go below your knees. One of the training tools of this once upon a time was to take a stick, something very round. You don't want it to be flat. You can't use like a measuring stick. That would be cheating. And sit with it on your thighs and hold that for like 90 minutes apparently. And if it rolls off, you lose. So keep that in mind. It's about going to parallel, and it's all about up here. It's a very sucky posture. It's very meditative. I used to make cups of tea while I was really hardcore into Kung Fu and hadn't started drinking coffee yet. And I microwave them for like, because I'm that lame, I'd microwave my tea. I'd microwave my teacup for 2 minutes, and I'd hold a horse stance as best as I could for about the 2 minutes. And for our first test, we had to hold it for 5. And for our second test, we had to try and hold it for 10. That was fun. Fundy John Weeks, who did it for 90 before he was 20. All right, that's it for our technique tutorial for today.
I think it's his birthday today, actually.
It is. Happy birthday, Fundi John Weeks. He is quite the Aries. And I'm not of the star child peoples, but I know that he likes it in that sense. He likes the association. It is an Aries for April, right? Abra went, no, okay. What's your sign? I don't know, but this is a great sign that I want to leave. No, I'm not against that stuff. Again, it's just like yesterday. Omni-mythologic, omni-religious, omni-spiritual, whatever you like, as long as it helps you and it doesn't hurt anybody else. So let's go into this community question of the day. Good news, everybody. I don't have anything planned for this one. So if you'd like to think of a question that you'd like to ask the community, feel free to ask them throughout the course of the video. When you get say, oh, I have a question, type it in. We'll try and read it off. Again, this isn't just about me being Mr. Life Coachy guy. This is really about getting people to talk to each other. If we're all here and we're all interested in doing this thing, we might all have similar interests, so we might end up being pretty good friends. And that would be cool. One question I'd like to ask, and you can do whatever you want with this one, but what is one quote that you really like? And if you could just share that with us, that would be lovely to hear. I can tell you right now, I don't have one off the top of my head. My brain does not work that way. I'm very bad at memorizing single lines of something. I'm really much more the whole idea guy. What is one quote that you really like? I dig it. It can be inspirational or it can be funny, whatever. Just help give us a little bit of a guide to your personality and what connects with you.
That's my quote.
All right, Abra's saying weird stuff. We're gonna move on. Let's see here. All right, the next part of this workout is the planks. So if you haven't woke up yet, now's the time to wake up. Wake up screaming in pain. We're gonna go up to 40 seconds again. And I'm gonna again alternate from my low plank to my high plank, 2 per side, as Abra recommended. So, say today I'm doing 2 sets of low, 1 set of high. Protect my arms a bit. Is the volume down on that?
Oh, it wasn't on. I apologize.
Arc. So we're gonna reset because Abra turned the volume down on her phone again. There we are. How else am I supposed to hear everybody's favorite sound? So when you're ready, you can again paint me like one of your French girls. All right, there's too much tongue. All right, and up. No, Abra gave me a look. I'm sorry, everybody. Really crunching through here, really reinforcing this. Focus on circulating that breath. We didn't get to do as much of that in the technique tutorial today because it's not as present in the Kung Fu form as it is in the Tai Chi form. Try and focus on it here and now. How are you doing it? I keep checking in just because I want to make sure that's fired. Gonna go to the other side. And rather than flip over so you all can look at my backside for 40 seconds, I'm just gonna come over to here. All right, ready with that buzzer, and we're up. Oh, yeah. Yep, definitely feeling it. Woo! Again, I don't want to sink too far into this. I want to push through this. I want to really be propping myself up. Aha, Mom! No, my mom's not here. But I just feel like I'm in like some sort of promo poster. Gee, golly gosh. With me being sideways. Alright, back to the other side. This time I'm going to go up high, using a full extension of my arm. Like Wendy was saying yesterday, depending on how your fingers are turned is going to kind of change how you're being supported. I'm putting my fingertips out for now, and I'm still feeling it through this part of my abs. And now the balance is way trickier. I can give a little bit of bend in my arm if I want, so I'm not just posting it, and I'm activating the bicep as I go. It's also going to challenge my balance just a little bit more. Ugh. Ah, yeah, those clap, clap, claps. Means 10 seconds are left. Ah, full extend, open up, breathe, breathe, breathe. All right, back down. Hey, those are starting to feel a bit easier, at least for me. I don't know about you. It's on you. Maybe I'm just doing them not as well. Who knows? You folks at home can judge my form. I am not perfect at this stuff, but I'm trying to get better. You build up a little bit of basic strength, even if it's not perfect. You get somebody to correct your form, you're going to be able to bring a lot more into doing it right. But it does require pushing yourself. At least learning how to pay attention to that body. See, I'm focusing on firing that. Focusing on firing that. I'm focusing on keeping my legs extended. I'm focusing on talking too much. On this side, I'm going to go back down to my low. I'm going to go back down to my low on the other side. This is a very different feeling from the regular planks. Come experiment with me as we go into the lab. I'm going to do like my Captain Morgan hip. It's my breakdance move. Stop giving me looks, Abra. You're like confusing me. Now she... No! Looks and looks and looks, trying to distract me from my amazing plank workout that I designed. This is copyright me. Oh, she's my arm. Ugh. One last side. It's copyright me, and I'm putting it all on Facebook for free, which means it's copyright Facebook. Or whoever owns this jazz music. Alright. Boom! Back. Ah, yeah. If a Dylan falls in the forest and no one's around to hear it, doesn't make a sound. Probably. Because I never shut up. Even when no one's around. Oh, yeah. I'm gonna get the moments. What?
We all get lonely sometimes.
I'm lonely all the time, especially when I'm around other people. Well, that sounded weird and desperate. Almost there. And everybody's favorite sound. Well, hello, Joseph, Kalel, Kakarot, Caputo. That is a lot of K sounds. Caputo. That was pretty cool. We finished that up rather fast. You know, taking those 5 seconds off of each round is like a whole half minute. Y'all mind if I go get the coffee pot? I bet you don't. I'm sure we'll just entertain you. Talk to each other. Talk amongst yourselves. I'll be right back. We left the coffee pot upstairs.
Yes, we did.
I'll edit this out of the video.
Enjoy the blue mat, people.
That's the real star. Alright. I will now show you how to perfectly pour a cup of coffee.
Not that crap.
I didn't even start pouring it and it spilled. Pay attention to the Pay attention to the coffee. Watch it pour. Notice it pour. Give it your 100% full attention. Okay. And don't let Dr. Brian Stoops see that you keep spilling on his expensive mats. I'll leave this over here for Abra when she wants it.
Who's drinking, sorry?
She's just gonna drink it right out of the carafe, you know, like Ghost Rider. Like Nicolas Cage.
I am Nicolas Cage.
Josh is like, I guess we're talking to each other. Happy Easter to you too, Penelope. I'm gonna like these questions and quotes a lot, but we're gonna keep getting through the workout. So who's ready for some more Kung Fu intermediate work? Everyone. Let me get up on this side. Wow, that's so different. Just getting up on my left side, even though I'm left-handed, you'd think that would be the side I would naturally go to, and yet I don't. All right. New Kung Fu moves, 4 intermediate techniques. First one, again, reverse punch. 90-degree angle to the foot, best as you can. My form doesn't look super duper good on this camera. It doesn't look super duper good in general for some reason, but when I'm sitting here, I'm seeing my 90-degree angle. Maybe it just changes throughout the move. I don't know. Maybe I just gotta get better at it. Grab, pull, punch. Come back. Don't over-rotate this on the way back. That's gonna be part of that issue. Bring it back to that 90. Punch, and bring it back. Punch, bring it back. Especially if you want to do the performing arts thing, that conservation of motion is just as important as that expression of motion. What I'm saying is I don't want to do this every time I throw a punch. Sometimes I want to have a little bit more pop and snap to it. I'm going to look at that real quick just to see if I'm full of crap. No, I'm not. That little snap is going to be a lot. And the lower you can get, of course, the longer it's going to look. So let's do 5 of those on each side because we're still teaching the technique. Focus on timing your breath with the move, and then we're going to move on to technique number 2. So lower yourself down. Remember, you're going to breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in. I forget, is that incubus or breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Other side. Doing some weird stuff with my hands. 1, 2, 3. Notice how I'm holding it out just to register the shape. 4. 5. Again, try and stay low throughout the technique. So even just doing 10 reps of that, so explosive, so much power generation. This is one of the highest level of power generation sort of style punches you can do. What I mean is that you're throwing so much body weight behind it on an external level. You know, it's not an internal Bruce Lee 1-inch punch sort of thing. You have to engage the whole body through. Very helpful for that performing artist who needs to train ball of the foot through the hip, through the chest, through everything. Very helpful for that martial artist that hasn't yet learned how to connect the chain for that power generation. Already shaking me up. I gotta do a lot more of those. Move number 2. We're gonna go into our spring leg from Tantui. Hands brush up ahead of you, knee rises. Now there's an extra step to this that you can do. If I raise up this knee, I can switch kick. It's much easier when you're traveling across the floor, but it gives you an alternative. I can put this one down. I can raise this knee up, switch kick. Again, it's much easier when you're doing this as a jumping kick. Now I'll demonstrate that real quick. I raise up this knee, and I'm going to jump to that direction. So you see how it could land a little bit more stable because it was extending out as I hopped. For the purposes of this drill, you can work it whichever way you prefer. I think just coming up and down is pretty great. We're going to get that nice tightness in the back. We're going to be focusing on the core. We're going to be opening up the chest. So 5 on each side. Breathe in and kick. 1. Breathe in and kick. 2. Breathe in. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. So tough on this floor. 9. And 10. Doing some weird finger gun thing today.
Again, this is a technique that I probably need to spend a little bit more time post and pre-show working on sometime throughout the day. You might want to as well. Let me see how it's coming along. Technique number 3, we're going to do our tiger lunges. So from there, I'm just going to check up, lower down, lower down. Check up, lower down, lower down. If I want to, I can trace. 5 on each side, and then we're going to learn one more move to finish up this set of 4 moves. So ready? Check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Notice how I'm pulling it up to switch the leg. 9. So I get this feeling of full contraction after full extension. 10. Whew, that opened up the legs quite a bit. And again, if this is as low as you can get, great. If this is as low as you can get, great. If you can get this low, extra great. Just make sure your heel's not coming up off the ground. Whew. This Kung Fu makes me sweat. All right, last move for our Kung Fu set. I'm calling these dragon twists. They will appear in the stance set as twist stance. This is tricky. It's going to be a little bit harder to break down in a video. But bear with me. I'm going to start with my feet shoulder width apart. I'm going to spin to one side, and I'm going to look back at the camera. I'm going to extend one fist out. I'm going to cover under my armpit. If I want to, I can get low. Then, I'm going to come back the other way, go low into the other side. Now, you don't have to look into the camera, but I'm doing that so that you can see kind of what I'm doing with my legs. I'm going all the way through. And if I want to, I can come up and go down. Or if I want to, I can stay down the whole time. And then eventually, if I want to, you can turn into a ground position, but we're not doing that for this workout. I'm going to demonstrate and break it down a little bit from the side. If I was already facing this way, it might come out to here. And then when I want to go back, it can come out to here. So you don't have to make this huge twist, 360 degrees, unless you really want to. And another way to get into it, and again, I'm giving you a lot of little ideas to play with so that you can find it. But another way to get into it is just step across and lower yourself. Just like a curtsy lunge is kind of what you do. But then I need to be able to spin to the other side. God, this is a weird one to teach. So what we're going to do, let's do it this way just so that everybody at home can follow along nice and easy. Step across to start. Punch out to one side. Open up in the opposite direction. Punch across. And that, every time we punch, that's 1. 2. 3. Did I go to the same direction?
I don't know. Stick ups.
4. 5. 6. 7. I'm getting dizzy. 8. This dang mat. 9. 10. You're ready to step out. So those twist stance spins, they're pretty cool. They're fairly useful. Lots of different ways to play with them in both combat and choreography. And as a move, again, we want to time that breath, right? So if I'm here, and I breathed out for that punch, or I'm here, and I want to go to the other side, I got to figure out when to breathe in and breathe out. That would be ideal. And when you start timing the breath like that, just like I just did, you're actually going to be able to connect the rhythm of the move a lot better. And you got to fire on that explosion. Now, one quick last point. Why are we putting the hand here for both this punch, which in the form it's going to be in a different place, but for this punch and for the crane stance? It's because in long fist kung fu, the pec is a really great target. Under the armpit's a really great target. So this is a guard. It's also, if you pull somebody to you, it's another way to think about it, but when you're pushing it out there like that, it's a guard for the side body. Oh, just a little bit of a martial artsy technique part to it for you. All right, let's wrap up the workout portion with our Savate holds. Sorry, I'm not jumping super far down the comment hole today right now, but we want to get through this and have a cool conversation at the end. And as always, do what works best for you for these Savate holds. I'm really focusing on firing my butt. So this leg can be kind of loose right now for me. I'm focusing on squeezing my glutes. I'm doing that because I'm trying to support that chain. I don't want to just be firing the quad. I want everything to come from underneath of the extended part of the body. So if I'm trying to use my arm for something, I want to use my chest and my back. I don't just want to use my arm. In bodybuilding and everything like that, you want to focus on the specific muscle group. But for power generation, you have to work down the chain. I also believe that for longevity, you have to work down the chain. Everything comes from the center. It's what my buddy Kai, that's like his, it's like his school's moniker. Central motion, central motion? Center motion?
Yes, central.
Central, I thought so. I was wearing the shirt the other day. Central motion martial arts in Houston. Everything comes from the center. That's the truth. It's the mantra. It's the credo, as it were. So you might see a little bit less bounce because I'm stabilizing through that base of my leg. I'm really trying to focus on getting my glutes involved. The butt master. It's like a thigh master. I'm scaring Abra now. Chassés. Again, squeezing rather than opening up. Trying to hold it up with the power in my lower body. My upper body should already be pretty good. Everything here should be pretty well trained. But see, as I hold that tension, I'm way more stable than I was on some of the previous days. So I need to create some of that bounce myself, like those figure eights. Now I get to direct that energy a lot more. That doesn't mean that I shouldn't do that loose and floppy training every once in a while. But me personally, I feel like I've built that attribute up. Now I need to fill it up with something else. For the Dresden Files fans out there, if there are any watching this, Harry Dresden gets an ability called Soul Fire, and his companion says that, his companion's like a spirit of intellect or something, says Soul Fire will do for your magic what rebar does for concrete. It's that underlying thing that reinforces it, like a skeleton kind of, so that it's stronger. It's got something going through it that gives it more weight and power. So if you think about holding that muscular tension as rebar for your power generation, then, at least in my opinion, you're starting to understand kind of what like this chi stuff really is about. The same reason why like a high-level karate guy or a high-level kung fu guy can really break a brick or hit something that's harder than their own body. It's because they're channeling their energy correctly through their strike. It's not as woo-woo as it sounds. And it's not straight up adrenaline dump stuff, like that whole like mom picks up the car off for kids sort of thing. It's really focus. I switched right over, so I guess I get to hold this one for 45 seconds because I wouldn't shut up. Thanks, Abra.
Hey, it's not my fault.
Thanks, Obama.
Thanks, Obama.
Did we ever think that that would sound dated? These are a really great compliment to the side plank. And again, you can see that I'm being a little bit more stable. I'm really focusing on pulling those back muscles together and firing them. All right, we did our Kung Fu, so I need to do my Kung Fu salutation, and we just did our Savate, so I'm doing my Savate salutation. Woo! Let's get into that stretch set while I read through some community questions and answers, and we have some fun as we finish up this Sunday morning workout. Really excited to have everybody here with me. I feel so much better. I'm telling you, forget the physical health. This stuff is just, it's what you need for your mental health. You gotta get up, do something, check off that box, and breathe, and sweat. I'm gonna go this way. I'll end on that way. And you gotta do it past the point of comfort. Just a little bit. I am very lazy when it comes to working out. I'll be the first person to tell you that, and I won't be the last. Gym time is incredibly hard for me, especially living at home. It was much easier when I was surrounded by other people working out, so I couldn't feel lazy in front of them. Because I'm a little competitive. I'm not really hyper competitive. I don't really think that I have to win at everything, but when I see other people trying to accomplish something, in the moment I get that spirit of competition, and I like to involve myself in it. Whether that's to challenge myself and just use that as fuel for my own personal fire, or whether that's because, well, it's fun to see who's got it. It's fun to see where we can push each other to. But yeah, like I'm not a workoutaholic. So it's very important for me when I work out, I gotta be like, if I don't break a sweat, it's not a workout. And it's very easy for me to keep changing up what I'm doing so that I don't overheat and I don't sweat, which is why it's probably super important for me to do high rep workouts or high intensity workouts of some kind, that I'm not in control of the metrics. I know Abra's like, well, you could do my show. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not there yet. Is this to the right or is this red or
Screen.
screen? Okay, so it's over here. My point is, you know, it's a lot of times why people go to coaches and teachers to help themselves grow. We are programmed to avoid discomfort. That's one of those life coachy sort of things. But I don't think it's too not true. Because clearly we grow and evolve the most when we are uncomfortable. And we learn to grow through it. Or we disassociate. And if that's happening, stop doing whatever that is. Do not disassociate. You must stay present. I'm going to look at what some of these other people are saying. We got some quotes. We got some questions. Oh, man. Oh, I need this so badly every day. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. It's part of the reason why I have the morning routine show. I'm accountable to you all.
I'm pushing myself to get out of bed every morning and to do this thing when I don't want to do it. And all the motivational speeches in the world on YouTube couldn't get me to work as hard as you guys do. That's a big part of why I try and be honest when I'm not so great at something here. Because I don't see it as me, first of all, I'm not charging you money for this. Those of you that donate are wonderful, but I'm not charging anybody. There's no paywall. So as I continue to grow, hopefully you're going to grow alongside me. And the big deal to that is that I'm not looking to be perfect on this camera. And while some of what I do, I hope impresses you for whatever reason, I'd rather it inspire you to also see me struggle through some of it and just keep going. And then the moves that I discovered that I need to do more work on, I'm going to go and do more of them after the video and keep practicing. Hopefully. Some days I get really caught up in editing these things, which you should check out on YouTube because I'm starting to edit them a little bit more. All right, that's it. I'll put that down so that I can pick that up. I'm just going to keep my legs here for a minute. MBIR. What did MBIR stand for? Member. Ember. She's quoting the show. I don't remember what it stood for though. All right, going back through the chat. They turned invisible, so that's how good this workout is. You develop superpowers. Yes, Adriano, I turned invisible. You looked away for 2 seconds. I'm invisible. Can you see me? What's your most favorite return to comfort movie? For me, it's probably the 1989 Batman with Michael Keaton and Jack Nicholson. I know almost every line of dialogue to the point where I drive my roommates insane. Because I will say it out loud. So if anybody else wants to answer that one, you're more than welcome to. Good question, Aisha. Wendy, I've always liked not all those who wander are lost. Is it or lost? Wander or lost? Wander or lost? J.R. Tolkien, just because your path shifts and changes doesn't mean you're not on the right one. Absolutely, we are all travelers. And we just have to keep going. Taking a rest day really made a difference in my planks this morning. That's really great, Aisha. Glad to hear it. Rest days are totally okay. And again, if you want to do the routine and don't want to feel pressured to work out, you're always welcome to jump in and just hang out with us. And you're also always welcome to do a modification or whatever you like. You're also welcome to just watch it if it's that entertaining. I don't think it is, but hey, who knows? I'm sure there's been worse television programming out there. Why can't I remember what Ember stood for?
It's literally Ember, I thought.
Oh, she deleted it, so I don't know what it meant. Everyone I work out with is a big motivation too. Thank you, Penelope. I think you mean people down south or something, but... Wendy says, not gonna lie, I have trouble motivating myself to work out too. That's why having the accountability of other people with similar goals helps me so much. Absolutely. We can all be a team and we can all grow together. Have you ever danced with the devil in the pale moonlight, Dylan? Yes, I have, Adriano. It was a tango. And yes, I know the reference. You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts.
So we start now?
My favorite quote lately is, the cave you fear to enter holds the treasure you seek. Abby, that is an awesome quote. I haven't heard that one before. I dig it. Do you have a source for that? I'd be really interested to hear where that's from. Oh. We're just ahead of schedule today. Doing well. I'm going to hopefully wrap up in a few minutes so that I can get this uploaded, so I can get it on the YouTubes, so that I can go do other things with my day. Like focus on building the business. My comfort movie is The Princess Bride. Love the dancing scene. My body is ready. Oh, see? My body is ready.
Okay, well, that's the motion.
Yeah, well, you weren't around for the first show, and that's really where the joke came from. No, everyone means everyone, not just the people in the South. It's Joseph Campbell. Oh, that's a Joseph Campbell. Well, Dr. Guru Brian Stoops would know a lot. He used to teach Joseph Campbell, so he still kind of does. Definitely want to get that quote written up and put somewhere. I dig it. Let's see here. Ooh, that reminds me of one that I haven't thought about in a while. I think let's see here. Everything you want is on the other side of fear. I think my therapist told me that one when I was going through something really difficult. Absolutely. Oh, the fencing scene, Asia. Okay, hey, I mean, there could have been a dancing scene. I wasn't going to judge. Dancing and fencing are kind of the same, I guess. Choreographed. Yeah, the other day, like a couple weeks ago, so not the other day, but the other day a couple weeks ago, time has no meaning anymore. It's a flat circle. I kind of came to the conclusion that like what we're going through just feels like one giant nightmare. So I wrote my own little quote about it, and I said, you must see the nightmare in order to live the dream. I'm not sure exactly what that means, but I liked the sound of it enough that I wrote it down and I pinned it up on my wall. I don't know if I got it from anybody else either. I'm sure if I Googled it, I'd find it, but kind of made a lot of sense when we were dealing with the outset of this whole situation, because I was starting to live that nightmare. My life, just like everybody else's, has been shut down and turned into this small boxed thing. And my implication with that is kind of like, well, if you know what you don't want, hopefully, instead of just focusing on what you don't want, start visualizing what you do want. So when something bad is around you, dream of what the good would be. And that's not about living regrets, and that's not about ignoring your problems. What that means is that, you know, if you really want to fight to change it, the negatives can help you understand what you want out of the positives. So for me with my mental health, the bad days help me remember that I want to grow into my good days. And if I'm feeling weak, I know I want to become strong. You can power through the adversity of your own challenges if you think about what would make them not challenging that you bring to the table, not just the outside source. I don't know, ramble. Joshua, my favorite quote would be, "To live is the rarest thing in the world. Most people exist. That is all." Oscar Wilde. Ah, that's a good one, Josh. No, Abra's a fan of Oscar Wilde.
You like Oscar Wilde.
She does. She like watches every version of
Dorian Gray.
Dorian Gray that she can get her hands on.
That's not true, but
It's not untrue. Abra wrote one. "No one can make you feel inferior without your consent." Eleanor Roosevelt. Dig it. Dig it. The first strong female character, Eleanor Roosevelt. I'm kidding. No. But she's like the OG of them. At least in modern American media.
there.
It's an awesome quote. And that's absolutely true. Somebody tries to put you down, it's not going to work if you don't agree with them. Alright, well I think that's pretty good for today. Got some really great stuff here. Loving what I'm seeing. If you have any more quotes or sayings that you'd like to post, please feel free to. Just because we're finishing up the video doesn't mean that it's no longer on the internet. In fact, it's all over the internet. Well, it's on Facebook.
It will be elsewhere.
It will be elsewhere, and it'll be on YouTube. So, let's wrap this up. Thank you everybody for another wonderful episode. This was a lot of fun for me. I came into this feeling a little woozy and a little out of it and very delirious, and now I'm feeling much better. I'm pumped for my day, thanks to you all. And We will be back at it tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. with Abra's Hero Conditioning at 1 p.m. and both of those shows are Eastern Time, just so that you're all aware.
On the East Coast.
East Side.
Don't do that.
Don't, okay. I don't get to do that. And then, let's see. Plans for next week. We will have our 2 skill development sessions, Tuesday night and Thursday night. And I believe the next day off for the morning routine show is Saturday. I have to double check my calendar. And other than that, we're just building. If you want to help us out, share our content. If you like what we're up to, take a picture of what you're doing. Take a video of what you're doing and send it in to us. I know Wendy sent us another video of Nona S. Pumpkins doing her morning routine.
It was awesome.
It was awesome. Was tough today, but it felt good. Thank you, Penelope. I couldn't agree more. Share, and if you haven't reviewed this, get on that Facebook page and review it. You are making us cry every time we read one of these things. And in the best way. Let's see here. Finally, just to wrap it all up, that's it. Don't have a lot else to say. We appreciate the support we've been getting from everyone. We've had a few financial donors. I'm not going to go down the list today, but I will the next time we get a donation. So if you want to be added to that list,
we appreciate you.
We appreciate you, but we're not asking for anything. We're just letting you know that if you feel so compelled. Again, please reach out to me or Abra or Brett. Reach out to Brett, that would be great. If you have any questions or concerns, or if you want any tips, or if you just need somebody to talk to, reach out to other members of the community. If you've been active with us for a while, but you haven't been invited to the Facebook group, let us know, and we'll be happy to send you an invite to that. All we ask is that occasionally you put something out there into the world that shows that you're putting the training out there yourself. Remember, I'm not just here to inspire you. I'm here to inspire you to inspire others. It's got to be that chain. It's got to be that ladder. We got to send the elevator back down.
Pay it forward.
Pay it forward. So, from us to you at the Morning Routine Show, myself and Abra as producer-director woman today. Have a really great Sunday. If you celebrate Easter, enjoy your Easter. Hopefully you get to see some of your family, whether that's in person or through Zoom. And we'll see you tomorrow at 9 a.m. for day 25 of the Morning Routine Show. Have a good weekend. Bye for now.